I've been paying attention, so why should I say pay attention? But still, I'll say pay attention. Uh, there was a guy in India who was the owner of a convenience store. Long back in 1930s, he went to listen to a teacher. So the teacher taught the very first lesson: you are not what you take yourself to be. I take myself to be I'm the body, I'm the mind, I'm the husband, I'm the wife, and long list. I'm rich, I'm poor, I am stressed. So then Master says, pay attention to I am. And that I am is awareness. And this guy, who was a young guy, was totally illiterate. So he said, my guru told me to attend the sense of I am. So whenever my mind goes to that I am in stress, so I left the stress, I brought my mind back to I am. Are you understanding? Husband, honey doesn't listen to me. So I left everything, I brought the attention to I am. Give the interpretation. So when you give the interpretation, that is contemplation. So this guy, young guy, was totally illiterate. He said, oh no, I just obeyed. Then he wrote, he became one of the great masters in India. He left, he died in 1980s. So he used to tell that I did not follow any course of the breathing or meditation practice or any study of the text. I just paid attention to I am. That I am is awareness. That I am is awareness. So he was working in the convenience store. So whenever he found the time, he said, I am. So this master, who from the worker in the convenience store, he became one of the great masters. Go back to that state of pure being. He says that once I paid attention to this I am and constantly bringing the mind back from what I am not. I am in stress or not. Bring the mind back to I am only. I am happy because if bring the mind back to I am. So he says that help me to realize the purest state of consciousness. Another point that is very important. He said that my guru told me, trust me, I tell you, you are peace and happiness. How many times I have repeated? Do you know what I'm going to say? How many times? You see that very message from the very first session. The Eastern wisdom says that you are made of peace and happiness, love and wisdom. So, okay, you can leave me. You can leave all the teachers. No, I know that. Now you have told me. Finished. So this entire journey does not fall into the marketing domain. Oh, I will coach you. No, you have to give these number of lessons. No, it depends on you. Are you approaching? Are you changing? So he said that my guru told me, trust me, I tell you, you are peace and happiness. Take it as the absolute truth. All comes from the existence. So this master, this convenience, this worker, he said, I did believe him. There is no reason not to believe. Now see the logic. This is what the contemplation is. There is no reason not to believe. Because if he has some selfish interest to declare that you are peace and happiness, so that selfish interest doesn't work here. From the very first lesson, he has already declared that you are peace and happiness. Do you see the importance? Do you see the quality of the knowledge and the Eastern wisdom? So this worker who became a master, he said, why should I condition my mind that I am in stress? Why shouldn't I believe him and then I start working? So after a few years, he visited different parts of the India, spending his time in only I am. That was his meditation. So whenever he found the time with eyes open, he was working in the convenience store. I am, okay, I am. And whenever he found the time with eyes closed, and he said, okay, let me bring my mind back to I am. All the impurities of the mind were removed. I'm just giving you an idea of what is exactly is contemplation and reflection. Our mind never, ever believes that I'm worthy of suffering. And then I start working on it. And then I find the real self. So this master is known as Nisarg Dutt Maharaj. He's very famous, Nisarg Dutt Maharaj. He died almost in 1980s. Or that is the power of this learning and listening, this Eastern wisdom. Just think, start thinking in the way this master in the work. And then he returned to the same shop and he continued working on the same convenience store. Oh, no, I have nothing to do. I will continue to work in the same store. So now ask yourself, do you experience the changes in our behavior, in your behavior, in your attitude, in your action? Learning, listening, and practicing these lessons. The moment you have that feeling that there is a change in behavior and attitude, you are already a seeker. Last time I told you, do you remember the frequency, intensity, and the recovery period? That is faster. In the past, you used to get upset and your mind remained in stress for a week, but now it is not so. Is it happening? No, you have to answer yourself. Don't answer me directly. So, do you find recovery period is fast? Frequency of being upset. Say, for example, sometimes our mind is conditioned with a particular member in the family. Do you know what I'm saying? Your mind is already conditioned with a particular member in the family. No. This is, okay, I will keep quiet, but internally you are burning. So has the frequency gone down? You are not at all concerned about the behavior, attitude of the others. You withdraw yourself. So that withdrawal is natural. Natural is that you withdraw yourself in peace and calmness. That is the secret of my peace. So my honey says something, I keep quiet. She doesn't say anything, I still keep quiet. Until the challenge comes, then I explain it. Sometime I would say, rarely, sometime I miss also. Then I correct instantly. The next moment I correct. So where is the problem? Ah, you see, this story always inspires me of this worker working in the convenience store. And said, there is no reason I should not believe my master who declares that I am peace and happiness. How deeper that message goes into your head. The moment you have many excuses, that message is gone. Think of it. And that ability, that is what I was talking before also, that that ability of the mind is present only in the human body. It is not present in the any other bodies of a living species. You say to your pet dog, come down, sit down, and the dog will jump on you, start licking. The very masses, the very knowledge I can receive, and I can act on that knowledge. That ability is present in being a human body. That is why our master says that there are 8.4 million species on the earth. On the human being is different apart from that, which has a higher self-awareness, which has a free intellect. It can choose, it can redirect the mind, and it can bring about a conscious evolution and transformation. Do you agree? If you agree, you are a human being. Now, I will not say anything after that. Why should I say anything? The mind does not stop. I think there is a proverb, I heard it, I don't exactly know. The buck stops there. You know, the mind should not stop at the stress, at the anxiety, at the duality, at the conflict. Due to the outer situations, relations, people, means, anything. Whatever the condition outside. Are you thinking? What we say, we have a little stress, the buck stops there. So now I stop there at the stress. I start singing about the stress for a week and months. And I have a lot of private coaching, and they say, my honey, I still love him and I divorced him. What a great statement. Are you understanding that? We start living in the past. Think. We need to think. We need to contemplate and reflect. And the moment you reflect it, that goes away. So, with that understanding that creation by the existence, because it has the absolute knowledge and it has an absolute action. That is why the water or you pick up any creation of the existence, that is present homogeneously everywhere. That is why it is absolute. Our knowledge and action is limited because of the mind, because I live in ignorance. So Master Eastern wisdom says I have to remove this ignorance. We have to remove this ignorance. So that our mind merges with the existence, so we have the absolute knowledge, so that we fall into an absolute domain of action. Doctor continues to claim he knows about the disease, and then the time comes, I am sorry, pray God. Limited knowledge. Think of this. Any area of the human creation, we have to say, I am sorry, that is limited. I love you, that is also a knowledge. So after a few weeks, then I hate you. What kind of a knowledge is this? No, just to tell you, simple thing. You are my soulmate and then you are my soulmate. Don't you realize my knowledge is limited? I made a mistake? No. You, my soulmate, made a mistake. So what is the message of this master? I am. I am. Do you see that? Simple message, very clear message. You look into any area, every year, the phone, every 3 months, phone is upgraded, updated. Updated and upgraded means that there was something, some error left. I could not find it. Now we have found, so update it. Computer update. Find out any area of human endeavor. So can I recognize that limitedness of the mind? Instead, I recognize you are responsible for my stress. Are you with me? Instead of recognizing that you are responsible, situation is responsible, my parents are responsible, my son is responsible, I bring the mind back to I am. I am. It becomes meditation. It changes. You don't do it, you will continue to be living in anxiety, stress, duality, and a conflict. I'm just explaining the message of this master, that why I shouldn't believe the master. If he had some intention, the master should have told me that when you sit in meditation, I will give you peace and happiness every day, maybe 1%, and once it becomes 100%, then you will be in peace. Eastern wisdom declares that you are peace and happiness from the very first session. Think of this. Think of this. So, because the mind is limited with the knowledge, unlike the existence, and we also, that knowledge, when translated into action, that action is also limited. You give me any action. Are we sure? You make a project and planning in your business, and I will earn $1 million, and you don't get it. There is one factor which is uncertain, unknown. So Eastern wisdom guides us how to discover that unknown factor. That is the goal of the Eastern wisdom. So once I know that my unknown factor, now I know it. There is no question of any kind of stress, duality, conflict. Because of that limitedness of the mind, limited knowledge of the mind, our ego is built around our experiences. I told you before also that when, because in those days when I was working in the federal government, in the health ministry, I recently joined, and this lady told me, that I have 10 years of experience. So I said, very good. So after 2 years, I had 2 years of experience, and she has 12 years of experience. So she has in the habit of saying, I have 12 years of experience, then you should listen to me. So I told her that you have only 1 year of experiences repeated 11 times. Why? There is no change in your behavior and attitude. But this I learned from my master. I was quite young, almost 15 years younger than her. But so in those 2 years, I learned almost everything. I said, no. My master said, no, devote, put 100% into the work. That is another way to be absorbed into meditation. So we should check in our life. I have 10 years of experience of stress with my honey. Yes, you are a great guy. Yes, I recognize you. That the same logic I applied with Bill Gates. I have 27 years of loveless life. So you're not less than a Jesus Christ. Think, think. Think. So once I contemplate and reflect, I recognize and I realize that that very stress and the suffering, what I'm saying, that very stress and the suffering actually do not belong to me. I'm not worthy of suffering. No, I forget. No. Listen again and again and then repeat the same logic. When the mind says you are in stress, you are in anxiety, you are in duality, you are in conflict, and see what happens. And you will find that that very stress drops down. Any kind of the problem that drops down. What is what we have discussed? What is all about? It is self-awareness program. It is emotional freedom program. Give you one more example. So I was looking at the Discovery Channel yesterday. So the guy experimented uh, with different animals, including the elephant, uh, that how they react when they look themselves into the mirror. You might have seen it. So the lion came and the lion started searching the another lion. Where is the other lion? And then there was other animals, they jumped. Beauty, I realized this is what the self-awareness is. So when the elephant was in front of the mirror, first he looked into the mirror and then he lifted his trunk. So the scientists said that, look at this, he is self-aware. Now he realizes that it is him. That's why he is lifting the trunk, bringing it down, and again lifting. Then he looked at his teeth. I look myself objectively. That was the message. I look myself objective. I'm in stress. Look myself observe. Stress is outside, and I am here. Problem is gone. And that is what the self-awareness program is. So we have added our masters have added this Eastern wisdom program. Either you understand what is the power of discernment or dispassion, or you understand by the phrases the self-awareness program and emotional freedom program. So when you follow both, there are absence of unfavorable conditions. Then mind is not running outside for desire for happiness. Well, just remain calm and relaxed and poised. And I believe you remember the 5 factors of the self awareness program or the discernment. You start thinking of the cause. What is the cause? What is the nature of the knowledge? Nature of the knowledge, I heard again and again that I am peace and happiness. How can I be worthy of suffering? You simply think and repeat this and see what happens. Then, after the nature of the knowledge, we understand the effect. The 5 factors that we talked about and the result. You will realize that the life has started changing. It has started transforming. Last point. The impurities of the mind cannot be purified by any practice. Temporarily, the mind raises its level of awareness. So that practice is necessary. But what is most important is the knowledge, listening and learning these principles, applying these principles, reflecting on these principles. Otherwise, our hatred, our anger, our duality, our conflict will continue there. You have done meditation, you are totally relaxed, now you are out of meditation. So mind says, now I will return to the same anxiety. It happened to many of my students. You see, when I practice meditation, I find totally relaxed. But after the meditation, my mind starts hating those people whom I don't like. That can only be removed by listening and learning, contemplation. That can only be done by emotional freedom program, self-awareness program, and both demands that we should contemplate and reflect. Close your eyes. Let us close your eyes. First is, so you are aware of frequency, recovery and intensity. That is self-awareness program. Eyes are closed. Make your position of the body at ease. And once you made the position of the body at ease, I may say that body is not struggling. In fact, the mind is not struggling to keep the body in a comfortable position. But if there is a struggle, then we have to become a seeker. Being comfortable. First 3 steps, you pay an extraordinary attention. Position of the body, eyes are closed, and check how fast we are settled. So So, where I'm settled, you have to ask yourself. And then being comfortable. You are settled in the comfort. And you see, now it becomes a play for you because you all are seekers. You look at the neck joint, the mind says yes. Feel the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Mind says yes. And then mind does not stop there. Mind keeps looking inside. It is not looking outside. Because mind discovered the very state of the comfort is coming from inside. Look at it, my friends. And now, shoulder joints. Now you see that that step becomes a play and a fun for you. Shoulder joints, sensation, comfort, and steadiness, and space within. Hip joint, sensation, comfort, and steadiness. You might have noticed that I pick up the three joints and then I take your mind to a journey of the entire body. Feel the entire body, sensation, comfort, and steadiness. That I have been saying since the very beginning. Why? So that your mind can pick up the instructions consciously, even few times. So what is going to happen then? So now you're doing a practice on your own. The mind will retrieve that impression. Compare that with the frequency and intensity, recovery. And then you are carefree, and I have explained being carefree at least in 50 different ways. The thoughts are coming and going. Thought means I am plus object. I am plus word. I am stress. So I am plus stress belongs to the part of the word. So in the very beginning, we understood from the teaching of this master who was a worker in the convenience store. Master told me to bring my attention back again and again on I am. So I am is awareness and rest are the thoughts. So let the thought come and go. You see, I gave another interpretation. I gave an interpretation, another interpretation, not to show you how many interpretations that, but ask your mind, pick up one or two. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Do you remember, I believe? Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Why we are doing? Replacing unwanted, uninvited, unwelcome thought. No, they are not there. Still, I can do it. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. We already know the meaning. Let there be a well-being for all. No, but why? Because for every living species, well-being is inherent. It is essential nature. Everyone is seeking well-being. My friends, our mind does not pay attention that I am also seeking well-being. That is why I am complaining of anxiety, stress, duality, hatred, etc. Is it not a fact? See the masses of the mantra. What is that? I am. I can summarize the entire teaching on I am. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Let there be peace for all. That is the meaning. So ultimately, it comes down that peace is my essential nature. What it means? I am peace. So mantra explains I am peace, but in meditation you are with I am only. Because I am peace, the I am will reveal the peace. Look at this another interpretation. I'm reminding you, this master said, why shouldn't I believe the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom that I am peace and happiness? There is no reason not to believe. And then you start the journey. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Purnam Bhavatu. Let there be wholeness in all, completeness in all. Mind blames, complains, agitated, stressed, frustrated, fearful, because it finds the limited incompleteness. And that is the creation of the mind. You remove all the impurities of the mind, what is left is completeness. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Let there be auspiciousness for all. Auspiciousness means the knowledge plus joy. When? All the time. Where? In all locations. In all relations. Your mind lives with the knowledge and the joy. That is auspiciousness, my friends. And that is one of the many expressions of the real I. So many of you might be absorbed deeper. Others may find some challenges. To meet those challenges, we have introduced the 3-step breathing. And we are doing it for 2 minutes each, but gradually, I believe so, I would love to increase it to 3 to 5 minutes each. And we want to see how it works. As it says, even I do it for 5 minutes each. So, focus deep inside the forehead. Focus or casually look inside the forehead in the space. Be very clear, space, darkness or emptiness. And there you are dropping Om Shanti with love, with care, with emotion. So one part of the mind is looking with love, care, emotion, Om Shanti. The mind has nothing to do with the body. Body is already steady. The mind, another part of the mind is taking care of the breath. You start breathing quick and short from the rib cage. You expand the rib while inhaling, contract the rib while exhaling. Just keep on. So there you need to check the frequency, intensity and recovery. The mind is not challenging you. You keep on doing it. Your 2 minutes is just few seconds. Then the mind is listening to you. And the 2 minutes is 20 hours. Then the mind is not listening to you. Just check yourself consciously, but keep on doing. And stop it. So once you stop, experience the changes in terms of the sensation, maybe tingling, numbness, heat, cold, freezing, or almost the mind remained absorbed with continuation of the Om Shanti. Om Shanti continues deep inside the forehead. To tell you openly, and you should be very clear that we are seeing that can the mind continues to stay deep inside the forehead in spite of the changes in the breathing and the steadiness of the body. What is going to happen then? The mind is able to be aware of I am all the time. Self-awareness program. So looking, Om Shanti continues, and now the belly breathing, it's a longer breath for 2 minutes. You inhale, the belly goes out. You exhale, the belly goes in. Longer. You will find some changes in your level of awareness, and let it continue. And what is preventing your mind to go into stress? That Om Shanti. It's a very subtle step. Continue. We are doing 2 minutes. One day, you without knowing, I will introduce 3 minutes. So don't start calculating. Pay attention to the practice. Let the noisy breath be there. And now stop this belly breathing. Do nothing. Self-awareness program. Om Shanti continues. With Om Shanti, you have variety of experiences. You accept, you recognize, you acknowledge. So in some way, many teachers, what they do, no, no, you have to do it for 3 minutes and 5 minutes. And without explaining, without a proper understanding. So that ignorant mind creates the hallucinative experiences. So we are 100% avoiding, rejecting those hallucinative experiences in our journey. When the knowledge is there, there is no question of hallucinations. Let us do the third breathing. Om Shanti continues, both into the belly and the chest. Remember, you inhale into the belly, continue inhaling into the ribs, both expense goes out. Then you exhale from the belly and from the rib cage. Long, deep, hissing. Why I said hissing? It should make a noise. Long, deep in the hissing, belly in the chest, breathing continues. And stop this, do nothing. You accept, you recognize, you acknowledge the changes taking place. And those changes, those experiences are consciously realized to avoid any kind of hallucinations. I give you one example. Yesterday I was doing for 5 minutes of this chest breathing. After 2 minutes, mine started doing very deep, silent, and slow breathing. And I would say after 2 minutes, I recognized that I'm not doing the way I should have done. And the reason? I was doing the practice while lying down. Supine position causes the laziness. So now start breathing deep, silent, and slow. So you may find in your life what are the different, sometimes the thoughts makes you stop the breathing, you do not continue, sometime the past impression, sometime what happened yesterday, a long list. So we recognize those impurities of the mind. So start breathing deep, silent and slow, from moving the mind from the crown of the head to the tailbone, singing Om Shanti. So here we added the emotional freedom program. We are singing with love, with emotion, as if you are a singer. And while breathing out, moving the mind from the tailbone to the crown of the head, Om Shanti. You all become the center of manifestation of that existence. That is what is the ultimate of meditation. Om Shanti. We already know the meaning of the Om Shanti. So we are not going directly with that the way this master went. I told you the story of I am. We are going with Om Shanti, we are going with the breathing, we are going with the different steps, and ultimately we will reach there. And now leave this, bring your mind deep inside the heart, triangle, dropping Om Shanti casually. So you find the alignment of dropping Om Shanti on each side of a triangle, moving clockwise and anti-clockwise. When you see that alignment is perfect, look at the center of the triangle, moving the mind. How you move the mind? By Om, deep in the cave of your heart. And then Shanti, then done. Totally self-absorbed. I'm using this phrase for the right reason. Self-absorbed is not forgetfulness here. Self-absorbed here means the mind has merged, so there is no thought. That state changes the mind very fast. What do you mean? The time comes you live in that state all the time. All the time in meditation, yes. Then what happens? Our behavior, attitude, response changes. Then we realize we are not worthy of suffering. When you realize 100%, not only you are a teacher to yourself, much more. Even though Om Shanti is left, we also understand that the time comes, all these principles are left. They are not required. They are required until we reach there. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms. Place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. Wonderful. How are you, David and Jerry?
Namaste. Thank you. It was just a couple of words, extremely powerful, blank, and there was just this void that didn't allow any thoughts or what seemed like eternity coming in. It was really wonderful.
Beautiful. You see the expression, the void is preventing the thoughts to enter in. But normally our expression is that thoughts are not going away. What should I do? So that's a big difference. Beautiful. How are you, Jerry?
So good, thank you. Very peaceful. And when we sing the Om Shanti, it feels just like bliss.
Blessed.
Very blissful.
Very blissful. That's beautiful. Beautiful. How are you, Terry? While doing meditation, did you have a thought that you have a problem? Not this.
It was very simple.
Very simple.
I just focused on what we were doing.
That's beautiful.
Occasionally, I had to correct the breathing.
Okay, yeah.
Take effort with the breathing, but other than that,
I could see you were totally still.
yeah, I was just paying attention.
Beautiful. Beautiful. How are you, Sam?
Good. The breathing brought a rush of energy to my head space area, and felt cleansed afterwards.
Yeah, there is a principle. I'm just explaining based on your everyone's experience. So when we keep our mind focused with Om Shanti deep inside the head, and we are doing the breathing. So the principle says where the mind is focused, there the energy will go. And that is what you explain. That energy starts moving. So energy starts moving into the higher centers is much better than moving down. Very good. So how are you, Vaibhav?
So it was very calm. Mind was not moving towards the experiences, but was settled in. It was totally peaceful.
Totally peaceful. That's another good point. The mind was totally settled in. Yeah, we'll talk about that. That's a good point. So, how are you, Ashok?
Namaste, sir.
Namaste, sir.
I'm good, and meditation was also, good and peace.
Oh. So meditation practice I gave, that is also good.
That is perfectly all right.
Very good. Very good, Ashok. How are you, Brandy?
Morning, I'm good too. I appreciated the way Terry shared today. I feel the same. It's simple when you just do the practice, when you listen and follow the steps. And like Terry, I had to bring myself back a couple times, but the more I did it, the more I was in it.
You see that, you both shared that it is so simple. Simple means, you see that? The mind that was, you remember the frequency, intensity, and the recovery. Those unnecessary, unwanted thoughts and their frequency has totally gone down. That's why it is simple. That's why it is simple. That's why that intensity of the stress or any thought causing me the problem is not there today. That is why it is simple. We already understand the meaning of the word, two words, simple and complex. Complex, there are many things. Simple, there is only one thing. How are you, Barbara?
I'm very good, thank you. I was very tired when I started meditation today because I didn't sleep well last night.
Okay.
But I'm no longer tired. I just feel at peace.
Yes. I have used these breathing practices whenever I couldn't sleep in my early days, and I had a lot of challenges, and even in the body, long back. So whenever those challenges are there, you do this practice, and you will definitely feel that tiredness and the fatigue disappears. So there are very good. So two people. Yeah, Sangeeta, how are you? And then I'll take up.
सर बहुत पीसफुल था आज सर थोड़ी तबीयत खराब थी तो एक बिल्कुल रिलैक्स हो गया बॉडी
Relax.
माइंड
Yeah, she was not feeling well, but when she did the practice, she is feeling good. Very good. So how are you, Anesthesia?
Thank you. This time my practice was very quick and I had a feeling as if my body was weak and I was a little inside this middle part of the body, and it was very warm and bright and light feeling during meditation.
That's wonderful. That's a beautiful experiences of the changes taking place. Returning to the summary, think about this master. His name is Nisargadatta Maharaj, who lived until 1983. He continued working to that convenience store. But at the same time, in the evening, he used to give talks, and he said, no need to do any practice. And what is that practice? I am. Conscious awareness, bringing the mind back to I am. Terry, not I am the body. So if you bring the mind back to I am the body, then body is a problem. Then I have a problem. That is all wonderful. I'm so happy. Yes, thank you.
Thank
Namaste.
you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you, sir. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste, sir.